Have you ever wondered, why do I toil away for decades, yet still lack a savings cushion for rest? What keeps us, at 50 or 60, racing against bills while others retire early with a smile? And if money isn't the only issue, why does finance still feel like an inescapable trap? I understand what you're going through. The pressure of a job that devours your time, family duties that leave you drained, and the growing fear of an empty-handed old age. Millions of people aged 40 to 65 wrestle with the same story, wanting to build wealth, optimize income, or simply live with less stress, yet everything feels out of reach. I'm not here to teach you. I just want us to learn together from what Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, showed me through his practical lessons. He once said something that jolted me. The poor don't lack money. They lack the mindset to keep it. Look at Jeff Bezos. He didn't rush to buy lavish homes or fancy cars early on. He poured money into Amazon to let it grow, and now he tops the world in wealth. Today, in this video, 7 habits that keep you poor and that the rich avoid, I'll share the 7 habits Kiyosaki pointed out, silent destroyers of our efforts, from how we spend money, fear opportunities, to letting life control us. If you stick with me for these 20 minutes, you'll see how the rich, like Bezos or Buffett, overcame these to build wealth, prepare for old age, or balance work and family. And we can too. Kiyosaki promised that anyone can change if they dare face their habits, and I believe him. But you need to stay until the end to see the practical solutions he left behind. I've read his books, applied his steps, and seen my life shift. You have that chance too. So, right now, hit subscribe so you don't miss our valuable videos. Press like if you're curious, and share this with loved ones or friends. When you're done, leave a comment, just one sentence, about the habit you most want to change. Let's dive into Kiyosaki's lessons together. 1. Spending everything you earn. I used to think more money would solve everything, but Robert Kiyosaki changed my mind. He said, "The poor spend all they earn, the rich make money work." Take Oprah Winfrey. She didn't splurge her TV earnings early on. She invested in her own production company, turning millions into billions. At 40 or 50, we easily fall into the trap of spending everything. Shopping to ease stress, prove ourselves to friends, or just feel okay. But every time we do, we trade away our long-term financial dreams. I once bought an expensive TV to reward myself, only to realize that money could have grown if invested. There's a Jewish saying, "Money not kept is swept away by the wind." I believe you don't need more income. You need to hold on to it. It's not about what you make, but how you manage it. Try this. Next paycheck, set aside 10% in a separate account before spending a dime. Call it your freedom fund. I started doing that years ago, and the sense of control over my future was a game changer. No more dreading bills. You don't have to ditch all joy, just prioritize yourself over temptations. At this age, we deserve peace, not pressure. Oprah isn't rich because she earned a lot. She's rich because she kept and used money wisely. You can start today too. 2. Confusing a house and car with investments. Kiyosaki once asked me a question that stuck. Does your home bring money in, or just take it out? Warren Buffett is a living example. He stayed in a house bought in 1958 for $31,000, avoiding lavish mansions, and invested in stocks to grow his wealth. At 50 or 60, we often see buying a big house or nice car as success. But if they drain your income with debt, maintenance, and taxes, they're burdens, not assets. I used to dream of a grand home for my later years, but seeing a friend struggle with a loan at 62 woke me up. The rich see it differently. They prioritize income-generating assets like rental properties or index funds before splurging. The Japanese have a saying, "Live small to dream big." I believe financial freedom matters more than appearances. You don't need a big house to be happy. Try this. Instead of buying a home right away, rent and invest the savings in an index fund. In a few years, you could buy without debt stress. I started renting instead of buying a new car, and that money's now growing in a small fund. Buffett isn't rich from owning many homes. He's rich because he lets money work. At our age, we should focus on the future, not just the present. Don't let flashy things tie you down. Choose the path to real freedom. 3. Being afraid to invest. Kiyosaki told me, fearing investment is fearing wealth. Look at Ray Dalio. He started investing at 12 with a few dollars in stocks, and now he's a billionaire because he stepped past fear. At 40 to 65, we often see investing as gambling, too risky. I used to stash money in the bank, scared of losing it. But Kiyosaki taught that not investing is the real risk. Inflation erodes your cash, leaving you empty-handed in old age. A Jewish proverb says, "A seed not sown won't sprout." I believe you don't need to be an expert to start. At this age, it's time for money to work for you, not the other way around. Try a small step. Put $50 into an ETF fund. It's simple, low risk, and shows you how money grows. I did that years ago, heart-pounding, but that fear turned to faith as I watched it rise. Dalio didn't succeed by luck. He learned from losses to win big. You can too. No big risks, just learn daily from books or free videos. Don't let fear steal your chance. I was scared once, but now I see investing as a friend for the future. Start small, and you'll be amazed at what happens. 4. Depending on only one source of income. Kiyosaki warned me, one income stream is a gateway to failure. Look at Sarah Blakely. While working as a salesperson, she built Spanx on the side, turning it into a billion-dollar empire. At 50 or 60, relying on just a paycheck is like walking a tightrope without a net. Lose your job and everything collapses. I used to think a steady job was safe enough, but watching a coworker get laid off at 57 changed my mind. The rich always have multiple streams: rent, dividends, small businesses, so they're never at mercy. The Japanese say, many small streams make a mighty river. I believe at this age you need a safety net, not to get rich quick, but to live with peace. Try this. Spend an hour a week learning to sell online, like on Etsy or eBay, for extra income. I started with small crafts, and now I make a few $100 monthly. That control feels incredible. Blakely didn't wait for permission. She made her own way. You don't need a big startup, just a small step to add a stream. Don't let one source rule your life. Build security today, so old age isn't a worry. 5. Ignoring financial education. Kiyosaki told me, if you don't understand money, you'll lose it. Look at Bill Gates. Even with his wealth, he reads daily to master finance and investing. At 40 to 65, we often think finance is for experts. I used to ignore it, assuming hard work was enough. But then I saw a friend retire with next to nothing, all because he didn't know how money works. The rich never skip financial education. They read, learn from mistakes, and turn knowledge into power. A Jewish saying goes, knowledge is a treasure no one can steal. I believe at this age, you need to grasp investing, taxes, and income optimization. Not to be a billionaire, but to take charge. Try this. Read 10 pages of a finance book weekly, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, to broaden your mind. I started and went from clueless to confident in money decisions. It felt like reclaiming my life. Gates isn't rich just from tech. He's rich because he understands money. You don't need to know it all. Start small with free videos or simple books. Don't let ignorance hold you back. I was lazy once, but learning made me stronger. At this age, knowledge is your key to a better life. 6. Blaming others. Kiyosaki asked me, does blaming make you rich? I knew the answer was no. Look at J.K. Rowling. Rejected dozens of times writing Harry Potter, she didn't blame anyone, kept going, and became a billionaire. At 40 to 65, it's easy to point at a tough boss, bad economy, or family for our struggles. I used to blame my company for not raising my pay, but realized it only kept me stuck. The rich don't blame, they take responsibility and find solutions. The Japanese say, the wind doesn't change, adjust your sails. I believe at this age, you need a leader's mindset to move forward, not waiting for rescue, but saving yourself. Try this. Write down one money problem and how you'll fix it. Look inward, not out. I did that, learned new skills, and boosted my income. Pride replaced resentment, and it felt amazing. Rolling didn't win by luck. She won by standing up. Don't let excuses trap you. I blamed others once, but stopping showed me my power to change. You have it too. Adjust your sails, starting today. 7. Living beyond your means. Kiyosaki taught me, live below your means and freedom follows. Look at Mark Cuban. Even as a millionaire, he lived frugally, investing money instead of wasting it. At 40 to 65, we often borrow to keep up. Nice cars, big homes, fancy trips. I once wanted a new phone on credit, then saw a friend drowning in debt at 60. The rich don't live beyond their means. They spend less than they earn to save for the future. A Jewish proverb says, wealth isn't having much, but needing little. I believe at this age, you don't need to prove anything. You need freedom from financial stress. Try this. Cut one unneeded expense like dining out and put that money into savings or a small investment. I stopped buying takeout coffee, and in a year I had a safety net. Relief replaced worry, and it was worth it. Cuban isn't rich from showing off, he's rich from living smart. At this age, debt is your biggest foe. Don't let it bind you. I used to chase appearances, but simplicity gave me control. Start cutting back today, not to suffer, but to build the future you truly want. So, we've walked through the 7 habits Robert Kiyosaki highlighted. Silent thieves stealing your financial dreams. Spending all you earn, mistaking houses and cars for investments. Fearing opportunities, relying on one income, ignoring money lessons, blaming others, and living beyond your means. I used to think poverty was fate, but Kiyosaki's teachings showed me. It's not lack of money that keeps you poor. It's how you think and act holding you back. Look at Oprah, Buffett, or Cuban. They didn't get rich by luck, but by breaking these habits to craft a free life. At 40, 50, or 65, you can still change. I believe it. And so does Kiyosaki. Picture waking up one day, free of bill worries, no longer exhausted from work, living with peace and pride for daring to step forward. That's not a far-off dream. It starts with small shifts today. I've tried these lessons, keeping 10% of my income, learning to invest, stopping the blame, and each step made me stronger. You have that power too, to build wealth, enhance your life, and face old age with joy, not fear. Don't just listen and forget. Pick one of these 7 habits, whether it's cutting spending or reading a few finance pages, and start now. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, just one sentence, about which habit holds you back most or how you feel after this video. If it resonates, hit like, share it with friends, those needing to break free from the old money cycle too. And subscribe to join me in learning more from Kiyosaki, turning our lives into what we've dreamed. You're not alone. We're walking this path together, step by step. See you in the next video.